Okay, hello class. Hope everybody's doing well. Today, talking about FBO managers, which is a lot like any kind of management job, really. You're in charge of your whole staff. You're in charge of your budget. You're in charge of continuous improvement, or different kinds of events that you're going to have to schedule to ensure that the airport or the FBO or whatever is keeping up with the times and staying relevant and getting traffic in. Some airports just have built-in things where they naturally have a lot of traffic. Of course, those jobs don't really come open that often. I took a look at a couple different websites, Indeed, Glassdoor, and there was maybe between 5 and 10 openings in the entire country that were labeled FBO managers. So I looked at statistica.com, which is got all kinds of different statistics compiled from government websites. And according to them, there are currently about just a little over 5,000 public airports in the country. There's about 14,000 private airports, giving us for a total about 20,000. Now, private airports normally don't have FBOs, and so you're talking about a pretty limited amount of jobs. If you wanted to go out and manage a pharmacy or a convenience store or a printing plant or just some regular retail establishment or some regular manufacturing establishment, your options are pretty wide open. There are those kind of places in basically every single town all across the country. Whereas, living on the East Coast, there's a lot of airports, but there's still not as many. We've got 5 pharmacies here in my town and 1 airport. So, it just kind of shows you how difficult it is to get these jobs, and how it's more of a being at the right place at the right time and knowing the right people. Being around airports helps a lot. A lot of us don't always have the time to just hang out around the airport, unless we're there for flying lessons, or we happen to know somebody who owns the airplane or something. We want to go hang out with them. But like the man in the presentation said, I can't remember that. Unless something's broken, I can't remember the last time I went down to the airport and people weren't having a good time. I had the opportunity to fly my buddy's Piper just a couple days ago, and it's super awesome, super fun. Everybody's having a good time, and good management helps facilitate that. When you've got when you call up and you're asking for fuel, or you need a service or something, and the line guys are there and they're not goofing off, and they're they take their job seriously, and you can get your fuel right away, or you can get whatever you need fairly quickly. That's a direct reflection on management. How well the people beneath you do their jobs, and how happy they are at work. But like I said, it's a tough gig to get into because there's not a lot of airports. Back close to my hometown up in Massachusetts, where I grew up, just now there's an airport in Marlboro that's shutting down. They're don't have the traffic. It was in the family, in a person's family for a while, and he passed on, and now nobody else is interested in running it, and so they're going to sell it and put up condominiums or something. And it'll be one less airport and one less airport manager job out there. And there's not, more airports are closing than there are opening. So it is a tough gig to get into. But if you've got good people skills and you've got good management skills, it's the type of job that you usually stay at for a while, unless you have the call to do something else, or you just want to fly. You don't just want to be around airplanes. So it's important to know airplanes, but it's more important to know people, and get those management skills brushed up, and then be willing to move around, because chances are the airport manager job in your hometown is not going to come open more than a couple times in your lifetime. So I hope this helps. Like I said, I mean, 5,000 airports. Some airports, like if you go down to the bigger ones, some of the deltas that are around will have multiple FBOs. I flew into Fort Lauderdale Executive, and there's it's like 5 FBOs on the airport, all spread out and around. So they're just because there might only be one airport manager doesn't mean there isn't several FBO operators at that one airport. But even still, there's still just not a lot of those jobs out there. So, it's be ready for stiff competition if this is the line of work that you feel like you're gonna want to go into. So, anyhow, hope this was helpful, and everybody stay safe out there and have fun flying. Bye.